Ha is one place in Bhutan that I've always wanted to travel because very little is known about Ha. The ancientness and its rugged landscape have kept Ha hidden for many centuries. Ha, which translates to the hidden land of the rice fields, reflects off an image of something unconditionally mysterious, adventurous, and traditional. Ha is really, really cold. Gechuka nale jochin gadimchi thale sayudna.
Jamla nele. Ada kan tese mi bola.
Ada kan tese mi
bola nele. Sektor.
La garinayala.
Ila.
And to experience Ha at its best, I'm traveling during the coldest months of winter to experience the cold harshlands for myself, and also to connect with the warmth that radiates from the kindness of the highland people known as Hops. The best way to connect with Hops is to go back in time to get in touch with their history. I'm heading to Gechugal, located in Ha Te, a place where very little change has taken place. It's quite amazing. Ha Te has its own charm. Like, I've never seen a place like this anywhere else in Bhutan. It's closely similar to Bumthang, but like I said, Ha Te already has its own charm, this rustic Ha-style charm. This is the best place to learn about Apchundu, the local deity of Ha, the only deity that is worshipped for anything that occurs in the lives of the Hops. Along the way, I meet the most unusual and interesting man, who seems to be performing some sort of offering ritual to none other than Apchundu. Gechugal Hagum happens to be the main seat of Apchundu and was built sometimes during the 11th century. This Hagum is the third in the series along with the black and the white Hagungs. Gechugal Hagum usually goes unnoticed by most compared to the black and the white Hagungs. Yet, it holds much more significance in relation to Apchundu. An interesting fact that I found out about this particular Hagung is that this entire place used to be really all foggy because right underneath this Hagung, there's a lake which keeps the entire place foggy. And it was only after they built this Hagung that sun shone right through and lighted up the place and made it all beautiful.
고급 춘두레 논이에 도매버라. 그래서 소아땡은 찬님으로 소아땡 코네 언니 춘두디 등같이 춘두 다탱아 날 세서 겁데 찬님으로 춘두 다 대이바 칸님바 힘이 턱한 제베 춘두 럴레 때서 아 턱한 제고래 샤쇼기 때문에 언니 춘두디 개우 때문에.
Everything in Ha seems to revolve around Apchundu. Ajapao has been a shaman or a direct medium to connect with Apchundu for 26 years. And he is taking me to see the forgotten palace of Penlop Hap. Dunkar. Kurtela. Ola. Las. Te hagi Penlop ki zimchu nalefai nala. Not only is Ajapao somehow related to Apchundu, he is also related to Penlop Hap through marriage. His sister happens to be married to a direct descendant of Penlop Hap. It's quite amazing. We met. He is an interesting and quite an exciting gentleman. So I'm gonna have a whole lot of fun trying to visit Ha Penlop's castle. So this is gonna be really fun. At a first glance, the palace seems like any other house in Hatay. But I can imagine back in the glory days of Penlopop's time, this house must have been the only grand structure within this area. Once inside, the rooms are huge, as this is probably the biggest kitchen I've seen in a Bhutanese house. Ajapao decides to show me perhaps the most interesting aspect of Penlopop's possession. The sacred statue of Apchundu, proudly displayed on the altar, and the weapons that have still survived till this day. Very little is known about Penlopop, since there are no written records. But inspecting the weapons, I imagine him to be quite a warrior, and it's amazing that as powerful as he was, he still worshipped and gave offerings to Apchundu before he set out to battle. I'm ready to go to battle. Got my spear, got my sword. This is it. Pala, Gigi Dumela.
Lo digitamayasi, ni simugu tuchuridu ni zumi sunkhima pale matin. Te nami semikatin chi tashi dele kuchi nindo danyamde. She ole yoni jeni bugi tashi dele la.
La sola, nami semikatin chela.
La sola.
La sola. I'm so glad that I met Ajapao, who is such a character. But more than that, he is probably the last of his kind in keeping this tradition alive. Once he's gone, the little knowledge of Penlopop remaining and the Po culture might disappear along with him. Ha is probably the last Dzongkhag to open her gates to tourism. Ha's untouched charm is definitely an attraction point for the tourists wanting to experience the rusticness of Ha. Kuzambola. Lejimberla. La sola. Lasla. 50 years old. The local contractors are renovating this 50-year-old traditional house to accommodate the tourist. This is actually a history in making because this very site is the first sign of Ha changing towards a modern style of lifestyle. And I'm having mixed feelings about it. Okay. Let's go up there. So do you think Ha has the potential of being like Bumthang? Because Bumthang is a very tourist attraction. Soon these rooms and corridors will be full-fledgedly equipped to cater to the foreigners, who will have a unique experience in learning the culture of the hops.
We are just trying to build a very simple lodge. So also to, like, once when it's made, so especially we have a lot of like people in our area who even have not seen the tourists in their life, you know. I mean,
Wow.
so I mean, it's a good idea so that you can develop this place, like people get employed to get some jobs.
Right.
And also for the farmers, they can sell their product or whatever.
Local products,
people, yes. And also we have a lot of programs, especially like day hiking.
Right.
Because mostly tourists like to hike, and here we have a lot of day hiking to a lot of monasteries
Right.
here. And that's why we have just tried this, you know. So I don't know how it will work, but that's our plan is we are trying to develop this area.
Nice. So it's going to be beneficial for the tourists and the locals, and
Yes.
it's going to be a win-win situation. I think it's going to be really, really beautiful.
Yes.
I can't wait for this thing to be done, this lodge to be done, and I need to come here and visit myself. This is truly crazy. Thank you very much.
We are most welcome.
Tourism will surely bring about some economic benefits to this community. They still have a lot of work to do, and I wish them all the best. But I'm traveling a little further south of Hatay to a place called Jangkhakha to finally get a full-rounded idea about Apchundu. This is the place where people from as far as Paro come to celebrate Apchundu's birth anniversary in the month of September. So finally I'm here at a place called Jangkhakha where the famous tree of Apchundu stands, and that majestic tree right behind me, that's Apchundu tree. And in the month of September, you could imagine this place would be filled with people celebrating Abchindu because Abchindu is the man here in Ha. It's a cold morning in Hayul, which translates to the land of the gods. The bone-chilling mountain air is filled with something wonderful as I'm anticipating a cheerful day. Stop! The train is riding down to the station where you live. As the sun forces his powerful rays out of the clouds, it warms the cold winter air, bringing out the playful kids with big smiles on their faces. Because it's Habi Lomba, their new year.
Happy Lomba!
People gradually come out of their houses and relax in the warm winter sun as families, relatives, and neighbors gather, wishing each other good health and fortune. Lasla karinchela. Lasola. Lasla. If I could describe Ha in one word, it would be happiness. Especially this time of the year because it's their new year and you can just tell by their faces, their eyes, their big smiles. It's a happy, happy moment. Kuzampola. Apechinala. Kuzampola. Ila. Lasola. Lasola kan jinshla. Kuzampola. Las. Kuzampola. Kuzampola. Tena lomba gi chari chawina la. The aroma of the famous Habi Gente emanates from every kitchen of every household, saturating the lukewarm village air with a festive sentiment. Gente requires a lot of work, and the star ingredient in the fillings is the grated turnips. It is mixed with many other ingredients, along with Szechuan peppers, poppy seed, and of course, chilies, making it uniquely Bhutanese. If you're only here in this kitchen with me, the smell, the aroma, it's too good. This is wonderful. The dough is a mixture of 3 different types of flour, out of which the main traditional one is the buckwheat flour. The family ensures that they make as much as possible as a gesture of abundance and to give as gifts to the family members and neighbors as good wishes for the new year. The dough is then rolled up into many small balls, flattened, and cut into small circular shapes. They are then stuffed with a wonderful aromatic turnip fillings. Well, I'm mixing the fillings all together, and this is just about done, and now we're gonna stuff them. This is probably the best time to enjoy family moments, as all the family members are involved in the task of making gente. Once done stuffing the dough, it is then stacked in the steamer, and in about half an hour's time, the famous Habi Gente is ready to be enjoyed while it's still piping hot. The most important thing during Habi Lomba is basically when you're having a meal, you want all members of your family to gather and enjoy a nice feast in hopes that even next year they could do the same thing. And this is the core of what Habi Lomba is, because it is family that is important. And I think when it comes down to everything, it is the family. And this is what it's being celebrated, and this is truly, truly beautiful. So just like any festival here in Bhutan, Habi Lomba is celebrated with food, games, dancing, and just a whole lot of fun. During the afternoon, the kids from the neighborhood engage themselves in a traditional archery game. Even I myself got carried away in this festive mood
And
that I had to attempt a shot.
Hit.
Woo! No, actually I didn't hit the target. I'm terrible at this game. But this is a serious competition, and hopefully we will win. Although I'm terrible at the game, I was so engaged, I found myself enjoying the competitive yet relaxing nature of the game in the warm afternoon sun. These kids, who are from different villages, gather every year during Lomba time to compete in this traditional friendly game, all to enjoy a wonderful picnic meal in the end.
Sangye! Lola Jomba Jugeshu!
야야 나 온도 나 꼬마샤냐. 아프나야. 야야 뚝뚝.
As the sun sets to the west, in the true spirit of Lomba, all the kids gather once again to go chant Lole, which translates to chanting the words of good wishes for our bright new year, all around the neighborhood. Lole is fundamentally a chant that wishes the host family good health and fortune for the new year in hopes of bringing good omen to the households. And the host family replicates this goodwill back to the kids by offering gente with a prayer for their happiness in life.
Lole, lole. This is quite amazing because this tradition is really, really fun. They take this basket with a long pole because they don't go up to the doorstep. They just hang this up by the window, like stretch it up by the window, and this is where they offer the gifts, whatever they need to offer. This is quite unique.
Lolo shigen jumachu lale lale bacha dugi kochu lale 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 bukosh.
Check this out.
Lale
lole.
buko buko jimkotagi kochu
Lole, lole.
This exchange between the old and the young is the epitome of connecting the generation gap with a positive outlook that reinforces the survival of this tradition, as it is literally passed down to the youth. Offering can range from gente to even money, all as a gesture for having enough to eat in one's lifetime, as well as having good health and wealth.
주 딘바시야 겐데기 이거 봐야 야 트래시디레 이냐 소나메기 트래시다야스 릴리나스미 스템네 동네마 하가다 히 가디페 로 찌레 디니비기 밀럼 답냐
Let's go!
푸고
Okay, so you guys have fun, Togush.
Let's go!
Late into the night, under the dimly lit moonlight, I say goodbye to the kids as they have to go chant Lole in all the households. I wish them all with many wealth and fortune, as this is such a unique treasure that I will always keep in my heart. Habi Lomba is a grand tradition that strengthens the bonds between families and between the old and the young. It is a festival of celebrating the abundance of the year before and hopes for the same type of abundance for the new year. I'm walking away with this invaluable treasure of wealth that is Habi Lomba, which cannot be ever taken away from me.
So traveling to Sombekha is more than just a leisure travel. It's almost an adventure because we have to pass the Tergola Pass, that snow-capped mountain right there. So this is going to be quite adventurous, scary, exciting, and I don't even know what to say. But I'm going to get in my taxi and let's see what happens. Check, 1, 2. This is quite a way to travel. It's freezing, really. It's gonna be my first time experiencing Bhutanese snow, so I'm a bit excited, but don't really like the cold. But let's go.
I haven't nearly touched half of Ha, so I'm traveling way further south to a place called Sombekha, a remote place in an already remote district of Ha. It will take me 3 days to get there, and the reason I'm heading all the way to Sombekha is to witness the mythical Nublang, which I've heard so much about. In the back of the pickup truck, my crew and I comfortably sat on our own luggage and enjoyed the bumpy ride, gazing way yonder at the magical snow-capped mountains. It was a surreal moment, but that moment was short-lived as our Bolero taxi got stuck in the snow.
Really slippery, as you notice. I gotta get my shoelaces nice and tied.
A ping of relief as the vehicle started to move, but unfortunately, the vehicle got stuck once again, and we haven't even passed the most feared Tergola Pass.
Oh. So, this is quite sad. Right from the beginning of our journey, our Bolero taxi is stuck. It won't go any further. So we have taken out all our stuff and we're gonna carry on by foot. This is gonna be nuts, but let's do it.
It was a grueling hike up the mountain that's been covered in a blanket of snow. Though disheartening, the white snowy wonderland was an amazing experience. Some part of the trail was so heavily covered with snow, it was knee-deep. Once again, I find myself walking at what seems like on top of the world. It is so silent here that all I could hear are my own footsteps slushing rhythmically in the snow, and random thoughts floating off of my head that seems to solidify like a snowflake, which is carried off by the chilled mountain air up into the heavens. I almost wish these thoughts could reach the gods themselves. When you look around, it truly is beautiful. I almost feel it's an untouched place, and I'm here, and this is really, really amazing. Along the way, we come across many young students accompanied by their parents, heading off to schools in Ha Town. These families make this treacherous journey every year in order to get a proper education for their kids. Thinking about how much they need to endure for the sake of education, it makes my own journey seems minuscule compared to these families, who most surely have traveled all the way from Sombeka. So this is the real Tergola Pass, and just like as the local hops, they really fear this particular pass, and I could see that because just look at this. This is an icicle. Look how big it is, and it's windy, it's cold. My jacket is frozen, pants are frozen. This is to be feared, and I could definitely see why the local hops really fear this. This is insane. Just check out this icicle. Whew. By now, the snow is so heavy, visibility has become very low. And before I have even reached my first camp, my love for snow has dissipated. It's about 5 now, and it's getting late, and it's best that we settle here for the night, stay warm, eat some food, and head next day early in the morning down to the next camp. So I'm gonna get warm now. Our first camp is nice and cozy. Hopefully it's gonna be nice and warm. I'm gonna get some shut-eye because tomorrow is another day of walking, so I should get plenty of sleep. So have a good night, guys. The morning reveals a place out of this world, and my spirits are once again lifted gazing upon the breathtaking scenery. So it's a cold morning here in the first camp. Our horses have joined up with us. We're almost done, finished packing, and we're gonna head off to the second base. Hopefully it's gonna get warmer as we descend down the altitude, and it's gonna be much nicer, so I can't wait for that, so I'm heading off. The second day's journey is all downhill. And as we descend down the altitude, even the snow gradually disappears. Though the works are on the way to building the road, it amazes me for the fact that these people have been using horses as a mode of transport, just like their ancestors, for many, many years. Development is a wonderful thing, but it saddens me in the thought that just within the span of few years, this ancient mode of transport might completely disappear. So it seems like we've reached the half point in our trek on the second day, and our porters have already come here way early, and I think they have made lunch for us. So come on. After a quick lunch break on top of the hill, we climbed down further into the valley to our second base camp. It felt like a never-ending spiral staircase, going down and down.
So that village right there, that's gonna be our second camp. But my true destination is Sombeka, which is behind this mountain.
Yet again, we counter more families grueling up the mountain to drop their kids to school.
So after climbing that big mountain, I'm finally here at Shebji village, probably the first village I've seen doing this trek. I still have 1 more hour trek to my campsite. It's become pitch dark, really tired, hungry as well. So hopefully our porters have cooked something for us. They've been really helpful so far, and expecting a nice warm tea and nice warm meal, and then off to sleep. Haha. Nice fire right in the middle of the field. I'm gonna sit down and have a nice hot cup of tea. Whew, what are you doing?
A beautiful morning in Shaba. The sun peeks its ray from the mountain as our horsemen had already woken up and starts preparing the horses for the last day's journey. If I had woken up at that magic hour, I would have witnessed the moon setting as the sun is rising. We packed our bellies with breakfast and headed off once again. I felt a big relief in my heart as this will be our final day's journey to Sombeka, the place of the famous Nublan.
We're descending down, really downhill to our destination, which is Sombeka. And it's kind of funny, we've been traveling all this time just to go see the famous Nublan. I mean, it's just a regular, not a regular bull, it is an extraordinary bull. But when you think about just traveling for 4 days just to see a bull, it's kind of ridiculous, but it should be more than worth it because it is a rare breed, probably only found in Bhutan, and Sombeka is supposedly the place where it came from. So it should be a beautiful treat, and all this walking and sore legs and camping in the cold and sliding downhill should be all worth it. The trek is really difficult, but every once in a while you run into a waterfall like this and it truly takes your breath away. It's really beautiful, amazing. I'm not sure if the camera could portray what I'm seeing, but this is really beautiful. And an amazing thing is that the local people come here, they make 40-foot rope ladders and hang from up there and collect honey, because there's honeycombs up there and I'm sure this honey tastes really, really good and sweet. Oh man.
After 3 grueling days of climbing up and down the mountains, experiencing 3 different types of climatic zone, we finally reached Sombekha. And I must say, this was one of the most challenging treks I have accomplished, besides the trek to Sangye Zone. So this is Sombekha. Finally reached here. Legs are really, really sore. We're gonna be staying here at the R&R center, and it's nice and accommodating. Looks pretty nice. And just looking around, just the first impression, it's quite beautiful. But because of the recent earthquake, you see a lot of damages to the buildings, and I think people of Sombekha have already started reconstructing, which is good news. But just looking at the school itself, the roof is all gone, so hopefully they're still fixing this, and we'll find out later what they're doing about it. But Sombekha in general is truly amazing. I got my full night's rest. I'm all re-energized, and Sombekha is beautiful, totally different from proper Ha, where it's cold. Temperature is nice and moderate. I'm gonna go meet a young boy named Kinzong, and he's gonna tell me more about Sombekha. So let's go. Kinzong.
구성벌레.
Kadabi.
내슈베리라.
Deshuberiga.
예.
This is Kunzang Jeremy, and he's 11 years old.
니기 유디 나키칼레이. 땡아 기억선베칼레이. 나부가라 니기 유나 전발레스 이스슈니까리체.
Nakeha is a beautiful village with all the houses scattered apart, and the people are busy with farm chores.
언디 암스러운 기침이 때 우리 암부흥 기침이 때 우리 선암 초랭 기침이 때 우리 암균성 기침이 때 우리 앞산자 기침이 우리 암페리 기침이 남가슬 기침이 때 니기 침지 파파 레이저로.
The people of Nakeha live off of farm produce, preserving whatever they could, and depend mostly on domestic animals.
니기 이카 고노셈진 만로 레샤유 라, 파, 타, 라, 칠리, 자페, 잠, 로키 때 아니디 jamgi chimi.
Kunzong decides to show me the main hagang of the village, located on top of the hill, high above the village. He visits the hagang on a daily basis.
Undi lagadi laluchiki sombini se labi te laluchiki tarbigyomba se labi te undi lagadi chachi toktochi I te lagadi gurugi nechi I te undi lagadi nyamchibedi lochiasi.
Kunzong is in class 5 and sadly shows me his earthquake-stricken school.
Amidi ni lobda I ni lobda mi Sombekha lobda chwa se labi.
His school has been severely damaged by the recent earthquake, but reconstruction is underway. It is a long procedure since materials and equipment will take a long time to reach Sombekha. All the students are eagerly waiting for the renovation to be done. Kunzang shows me his classroom.
Sangye seat, the Sumatara seat, only Kenya titam, Thai titam, the only shoot titam, the only Turkey. ngagi class PP 1 2 3 4 sense na sombe khalok do chona tai te na le somdo chapel jo nim sunggilam I te ngagi uji chalera pandi jume sope.
Although much devastation has occurred in the village, Kunzang is happy as he enjoys a game of kuru with his little brother. He says he doesn't ever want to leave his village like many who have already left. I am so lucky to have met Kunzang Jeremy. What a proud young man he is, who really takes pride in his own roots.
Ami samika rin che me tuwa Kinzang.
Asla
Che I samika to do de.
yula lebe kari chela.
Gari che. Bye.
But the main reason I've walked all the way here is to find the famous Nublan. I thought the best way to learn about the famous Nublan was to ask the villagers why the Nublan is filled with myths and legends, and how much they really depend on this animal. I headed from house to house to inquire about the Nublan.
Kuzambola. Kashbeula.
gezasib dumbi.
Gezasib kap dinala. Las bala.
Te nublo dinga china le te atjinu ji lejim ji me bachin tanga jil thangku shem me bala. Tanga china nyomol ru phami kable te nublo singa china le thome bala nublo lejim dila. Tanga bi di tanga china azgala te nu atji ji phasu das kus ji gole te nu ji ju thome. Te nu ji ju gole tanga jil thangku shem me ommin dila. The nublo das man bachin ajil te thangku ram dila. The nublo de se das be gonorgi di das bachin ajil dira tabel. Junga chino gadlam mi bendigi sabji da untun tonsim dila euro. Te nga chigi mata si te nublo nu lejim ji me bachin mata se thangku min dila. Tanga bendigi te nublo dir das tabi na bachin.
So it seems that Nublan is not just a bull, but this particular bull species is the main source of these people's livelihood, and also the source of their pride. I still haven't had the chance to gaze upon this mythical animal, but the presence of the Nublan can be seen everywhere in the village. It is a common sight to see village women milking the cows, most likely an offspring of the Nublan. Every household has little calflings in their barns, and the people take care of these animals with much love. And I could see why, because these animals provide so much that they have become the main source of their nourishment.
So that's a beautiful, beautiful calf, and it happens that it's a female. So when she grows up, becomes a big cow, it's gonna give delicious, delicious milk. It's gonna be nuts.
So as I explore more of the village in search for the mythical Nublan, all I find are empty barns, empty fields, and surprisingly, even empty houses.
So about a year ago, some people from Sombegha have moved down to the new settlement, people who didn't own any lands. And this particular house is one of the houses that is totally empty because the people from this house has moved downhill and settled down there. And they have settled as far as Sipsu and Samtsi. And it's a shame because this is a gorgeous, gorgeous house. And I'm sure the villagers here, the people who are still here, will put some use for this house. It's a really beautiful, beautiful house. Whoa, could that be? Is that? Come check it out. I think that might be a Nublan. Check it out, guys. I think that might be a Nublan. Are you a Nublan? No, that's actually just a cow. Unfortunately, that's not a Nublan, but it is a huge, huge cow.
But determined to find this mythical animal, I'm heading a little further to a nearby village called Nakha to talk with Age Uge, who have some insightful information on the myth of how the Nublan came to be, as he is the oldest member of this community.
So I believe this is Age Uge's house. Can't wait to go meet him. Sombekalela. Yalamada kata hijila. Kuzambola. So it took us quite a while to find Age, but we finally found him. So we'll ask some questions.
너로 대한 손을 바로 띵도 돈벨라 손을 띵도 돈벨라 연간 나치 노좀 배 총원 데 어디 배파 노도 돈면배 저기 노를 바바 노 코로로 통지.
It is believed that a long time ago, a giant bull was given birth by the sacred Lake Nupsonapata, which is located up in the mountains about 3 days' journey from Nakha. One day, when a cowboy from this village went to visit the lake, he saw this magnificent giant bull. He thought this bull could bring much benefit to his village, so he decided to subdue the bull by wrestling it. He then brought it back to his village, and ever since then, Nublan, as the name is derived directly from the lake, is believed to be the only breed that can be found only here in Sombekha. And today, the Nublan is specifically used for breeding, and thus, his famous legacy lives on forever.
아직도 노로 미치 지대 자수들라. 다 미치 지주메 다른 미치 지도니 숨 놓고 노지 마파 제 남에서면 노로지기 마파 거로 로지베로 마파 체마도 남에서면 옴르베로 로만도 베로 같이 베로 거래게 디르긴티베로 또 무슨 순이라. 또 로지 뭐라 비고래. 달라 모수지 마파 다 노로기 리 감모세진 아시지 냠소보다.
So after talking to Agedorji, who's 83 years old, he's seen a lot of Nublong in his lifetime. And it seems like after talking to him, the population of Nublong has decreased. And Agedorji has confirmed that. And also the myth, the legendary thing about Nublong is also confirmed. And I'm even that much more excited to see the real Nublong now. This is amazing. Check that guy out. That is the real Nublong. After a whole day of searching and looking for Nublong, I finally got the chance to witness the real Nublong with my own eyes. I'm too excited. Wow. I need to get closer and just check it out. So I finally got the chance to witness the real Nublong, and this creature is humongous. Big hooves, huge horns. And just look at the size of him, and his hump in the back is beautiful. Wow. And Ha Dzongkhag, I'm really glad that I came to Ha Dzongkhag, and starting from Ha Te to Ha Lomba, which was beautiful. I've traveled all the way here to Sombekha, one of the remotest geogs in Ha. It's amazing. I'm just gonna wonder at this beautiful creature, and this creature is as beautiful as Ha itself. It's wonderful.
A journey is just the beginning of uncovering the beauty that lies hidden in the valley. Crossing mountains, rivers, and making that first initial step opens boundaries and transcends the heart and the soul to a deeper connection with the heavens above. Connecting with interesting people, enjoying simple games, and experiencing a beautiful age-old tradition is a once-in-a-lifetime moment. A journey in any sense reveals, exposes, and opens the curtains in the mind's eye to see the harsh real beauty of Bhutan. And it is such an experience when one can journey along with the sun as it rises and gently sets behind the mountains, only to rise again in the mystical hidden valley of Ha, once again to reveal the truth. So until next time, in another Dzongkhag, goodbye.